Imagine living in a jungle for 30 long years. No family, no home, no nation to return to. Just shadows, whispers of enemies you can't see, and an unshakable belief that the war is still raging. For most, such a life would mean madness. For one man it became his mission, his duty, his very reason to keep breathing. This is the unbelievable story of Hiroo Onoda, the soldier who refused to surrender. Hiroo Onoda was just 22 years old when he left Japan in 1944. Like thousands of young men of his generation, he was swept into the flames of World War II. But unlike so many others, his war would not last months or years. His war would last decades. Deployed to the Philippine island of Lubang, Onoda was given one chilling order. You are to hold your position, never surrender, never take your own life, continue your mission until further orders arrive. And so, with nothing but a rifle, a uniform, and his training, Hiroo Onoda disappeared into the thick, unforgiving jungle, never imagining he would remain there until 1974. The jungle was both enemy and prison. For years, Onoda and a small group of fellow soldiers survived by hunting, foraging, and stealing food from nearby villages. But the war they thought they were fighting was already over. Japan had surrendered in 1945. The world had moved on. Yet Onoda did not believe it. Leaflets were dropped from planes declaring, "The war has ended. Come out peacefully." But Onoda studied the paper, convinced it was enemy propaganda. Newspapers, letters, even photographs from his family, he dismissed them as clever tricks. The struggle was relentless. Mosquitoes swarmed. Malaria gnawed at his body. His clothes rotted from constant rain. Every rustle of the jungle carried the threat of ambush. Food was scarce. Trust was non-existent. And slowly, his comrades disappeared. Some died, some surrendered. Eventually, Onoda was alone, a single soldier, fighting a war no one else believed in. Think about it, years turned into decades. 10 years, 15, 20. Imagine waking up every day believing you were surrounded by enemies. Imagine waiting for orders that never came. There were moments when despair almost broke him, when hunger hollowed his body and loneliness suffocated his mind, when he wondered if maybe, just maybe, the leaflets had been true, and he had wasted his life in shadows. But then he remembered the words of his commander: "Never surrender, never die by your own hand. Continue until we return." Those words became chains, but they also became his compass. In the face of unbearable isolation, Hiroo Onoda made his choice. He would not give up. To surrender meant dishonor. To quit meant betrayal. And so, he sharpened his discipline like a blade. He patrolled the jungle as if the war still raged. He oiled his rifle. He polished his boots. He kept his uniform in order. The world may have forgotten him, but he would not forget his mission. Years became decades. Hiroo Onoda lived as a ghost warrior. Villagers feared him, calling him a phantom of the jungle. He survived on bananas, coconuts, and whatever he could steal from local farms. Every crack of a branch, every rustle of leaves he treated as a potential ambush. His body aged, but his spirit remained iron. Even when Japanese search parties tried to find him, he refused to come out. He believed his enemies had staged the entire thing. For 30 years, the jungle tested him. It stripped him of comfort, companionship, and certainty. Yet it could not break his resolve. Then, in 1974, 3 decades after the war had ended, the Japanese traveler named Norio Suzuki found him. Suzuki told Onoda that Japan had long surrendered. Onoda, of course, refused to believe it. "I will not stop until I am relieved of duty by my commanding officer," he declared. And so, Japan tracked down his former commander, Major Yoshimi Tonoguchi, who had long retired and was now selling books. The major traveled to Lubang Island, found his lost soldier, and gave him the words Onoda had been waiting for since 1945. "Onoda, it is over. You are relieved of duty." At last, Hiroo Onoda lowered his rifle. After 30 years, the war inside him finally ended. When he returned to Japan, he was both celebrated and pitied. A living relic, a man out of time. But his story became immortal, a symbol of loyalty, duty, and persistence that refused to die. Hiroo Onoda's story is not just about war. It is about the human spirit's ability to endure. He teaches us that belief can carry you through the darkest storms. Discipline can preserve you when everything else is lost. And refusing to give up can make you unbreakable. Yes, Onoda may have fought a war that no longer existed. But in his struggle, we see the essence of what it means to keep going. When the world tells you to stop, his story is proof that no matter how long the battle, no matter how heavy the burden, the moment you give up is the moment you lose. And so, let Hiroo Onoda's incredible journey remind us all of this. When life feels like a never-ending jungle, when the world tells you to quit, when every sign says it's over, remember, your war is not over until you decide it is. Thank you for watching. Remember, no matter what happens in life, never give up.